Hi everyone, Mrs. Ryan here. Today we're going to start on page 14 of your Doodle Notes journal. Now mine's on page 14, yours might be somewhere a little different. But you're looking for this page right here, the one that has personification on the top half and onomatopoeia at the bottom half. And we're going to start with this top part right here. So you'll need to have this page open, have a pencil ready, and yours is probably blank like this. But guess what? I've been working really hard, and I got a little ahead of the game. So I kind of colored mine in and pre-filled in some information here. Because, I don't know, it needed some color. So I colored mine in. So personification, you'll notice it has the word person in it, right? Person. That's going to be important to help us remember what personification means. So here's what we want to write for our definition. Personification is giving human characteristics or person or people characteristics to inanimate objects, animals, or ideas. I'm going to give you a moment to write this down before we explain it further, and I'll read it again. It's giving human characteristics to inanimate objects, animals, or ideas. Inanimate objects are things that aren't alive. They're not animated, right? They're not animated. Like this pencil. This pencil is an inanimate object. It doesn't move on its own. It doesn't have a personality. I move it, right? This human is moving it. But if I wrote that this pencil danced across the page, that is giving a human characteristic to the pencil. Because pencils don't dance, right? People dance. Humans or persons, they dance. Pencils do not dance. So if I say that the pencil is dancing across the page, well, that's personification because I just gave a human characteristic to an inanimate object. Let's look at the rest of our examples here. So right here we have the wind waves goodbye, right? Wind doesn't go bye. Wind does not actually wave by. It's just a human characteristic that is given to an inanimate object, wind. Opportunity knocked at the door. Well, opportunity is an idea. It's something that you can get. It doesn't actually knock at the door, right? Knocking, that's something that humans do. So it's giving a human characteristic to something that isn't alive. Or an animal, I guess. Animals are alive. All right, so we need some more examples here. So here are the examples that I came up with because they needed to somehow match this example, the shoe and this sun. So you can use my examples or you can come up with your own. So for the shoes, I wrote the tired shoes finally took a break because I was walking in my shoes all day long. So my tired shoes finally took a break. Now, the shoes aren't actually tired, right? It's the human's feet. But shoes cannot be tired because they are an inanimate object, an object that doesn't move on its own or have thoughts or feelings or anything like that. So it's giving a human characteristic to an inanimate object. So the shoes are tired. Now for this one, for the sun, I put the sunbeams danced across the sky because it was a really sunny day. But just like a pencil, sunbeams don't really dance. It's just the way that we describe them. Humans dance. Sometimes it can get a little fuzzy when we learn about animals. If you think of really any animated movie that has animals walking and talking, well, that's all personification because animals don't really walk and talk, at least in our language, right? They might bark or squeal, but they're not actually having conversations. They're not hanging out with friends, playing cards or anything like that. So those are all human characteristics given to animals. So that's personification. Awesome. Now let's go ahead and flip to page 15 for me. Might be a little different for you. You're looking for this page right here. This page right here. So on this page, what we need to do is we're going to personify 6 objects. But first, we'll need to brainstorm a list of at least 7 verbs that describe things that humans do. So a verb is an action word, right? So we need at least 7. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll need to come up with at least 7 words here. I'll come up with a few with you. Trying to think of some fun ones. Maybe devoured. Maybe I was so hungry that I devoured my meal. Devoured. Or maybe I was bamboozled. That's a fun word, right? Bamboozled. It could be something as simple as ran. Humans run. How about flee? Flee's a little bit more exciting. I'm going to go with flee. Right? She fleed the scene. Flee. I'll just keep it flee instead of fleed. So you need to come up with 7 total verbs. Then you're going to move on to this section right here. It says write an item on each line on the left column. Then use the verbs from your brainstorm above to personify the item. Write 6 sentences with personification in the right column. All right, so I'll do a few of these with you, but remember, you still have to go back up here and fill out at least 4 more verbs, right? You're looking for verbs. Okay, let's see. An animal. Toad. Ha! I'm going to pick a toad. And I'm going to use it with the word devoured. I'm going to say the toad devoured the fly. The toad devoured the fly. So that's personification, because devoured is something that a human does. I'm going to go ahead and cross off devoured. That way I don't use it twice. Let's see. A household object. A household object. Maybe a phone? A phone? Could be a cell phone or just a regular phone. You don't have to go in order, but I'm going to go ahead and go in order because I get bamboozled all the time, or my phone is going to get bamboozled with spam calls. Do your parents ever get spam calls all the time? Like somebody random's calling to sell you something? Usually some kind of insurance. So I'm going to put the phone bamboozled me with a spam call. So the phones cannot bamboozle, right? That's something that a human does. So I personified the phone. I gave it a human characteristic. Here, I'm going to try to use my flee one. So I'm going to jump down to something I found at school, or something found at school. I'm going to use a pencil since that's what I'm writing with. Pencil. And I'm going to change flee to fleed, which is probably fine. I'm going to put, or fled, maybe fled. The pencil fled the desk because it rolled off the desk. Going, whoop. So it fled the desk. The pencil fled the desk. So there's my word fled. Now I've used flee, fled. It's the same thing. It's just a different form of the word. So you need to come up with 7 verbs. You can use these and then add more. Then you need to fill in this left side and then use your words up top to help you write personification sentences. That's it. Make sure that you get your work checked by your teacher either today or tomorrow or as soon as possible so that way we can make sure you're on the right track.